Ananya, first, big congratulations for that brilliant performance in Gehraiyaan. Everyone is talking about the movie and about Tia, the character that you play in the movie. Of course, you all must be having great expectations from the movie. But did you expect such a positive response from the film?
I mean, we just wanted to tell our story as honestly as possible. We wanted to dive into the complexities. We wanted to, not compromise the story in any way. And we're just happy that people are relating to it and people are loving the film and, discussing it.
Yeah.
That's most important. And I think it's the biggest reward for us.
Tia is an important character in the film. How easy was it for you to get into the skin of that character when you started preparing for the role? Do you remember either a scene or that moment when you realized, or you came so close to her and you got that feeling that, okay, now I understand who Tia is?
Honestly, I never feel like she came or she went. I always felt like she was a part of me somewhere, some facet of my personality, some extension of my own personality. We are very similar, but we are also very, very different. I feel like she's way more mature than I am. She's way more restrained than I am. She has a sense of composure and therav, and she thinks before she speaks. And, a lot of her life depends on her relationship with Zayn. And in those ways, we're quite different from each other. We started preparing for the film almost as soon as we signed the film. We started readings, as soon as we started, and then the pandemic hit. So we couldn't shoot, we couldn't start shooting for 4 or 5 months. And before we started shooting in Goa, we went 10 days in advance and we had a full pack schedule of acting workshops, intimacy workshops, yoga classes, readings, everything together. And maybe the moment where I felt closest to Tia was somewhere in the workshops. Shakun made us do this exercise where he made us read the scene just once. And then he said, now do it yourself. Now don't try to remember the dialogues. If you remember it, good, but then come up with your own dialogues if you don't. And in there, I found some choices that I was making very similar to how Tia would react and not how Ananya would react. And that's when I was like, okay, I'm getting closer to her. And then Shakun actually incorporated some of those things in the actual scene.
So that, is it correct to say that acting means reacting? But you're not just reacting to the co-star, but you're also reacting to the situation.
The circumstances,
so,
exactly.
Were you daydreaming while preparing for this role?
No, I think because of the environment that we were in, it was extremely conducive because we were in so many workshops together. We were constantly talking about the film. So we were constantly creating. All the conversations kind of revolved around our characters and the scene the next day and what we did in the scene today. And I think something that I realized very early on in this film was the importance of just being present in the moment. We often go into scenes overthinking that I will do this and I will do that, but that actually hinders what you are going to end up doing in the scene. It becomes limiting if you are like, oh, I'm going to move over here and I'm going to sit down at this point. You kind of have to react spontaneously, and that's why every take is also different. And everything from the set, from the way it was shot, the film helped us create rather than limit us.
So that, now we have seen the film, and trust me, I really want to say this to Tia that, it's okay. It was just a bad experience of life. Maybe a spoiler here, but that guy was really not worth it.
Yeah.
Are there any qualities or similarities, like you said you have? What are the qualities or similarities that Ananya Panday, the actor or the person, shares with Tia?
I think in a sense of innocence is similar between Tia and I. She's extremely loyal in her relationship and her love is coming from a very pure place. And so I feel like I possess those kind of qualities. She's a true friend. But then she also has some qualities which are not so good, but which I also have, where she can be a little insecure sometimes, or she overthinks a lot, or she gets a bit dependent in the relationship. So even I sometimes can be like that.
Oh, I thought you say the quality of maybe trusting people blindly.
I used to be like that. I think I've become a little better in that sense, but I'm quite an open book that way. I trust people quite easily. That is true.
We'll talk about that open book, but Ananya, you reportedly said that you have given 30 to 40 takes for a shot while working on this movie. How do you think that a practice like this will help an artist with her craft?
I think every director is different. Shakun, when he asked us to, and 30, 40 is a bit of an exaggeration, maybe like 20. But when Shakun asks us for more takes, it's coming from a place of exploration and not from a place of confusion. He knows exactly what he wants, and he believes in his actors so much that he wants to push us to reach our true potential. And I feel like as an actor, that's the best thing. If you're getting to play, if you're getting to give as many variations as possible, you are also going deeper into the performance yourself. So I took it as a chance to just play and discover as well.
So
I think we associate too many takes with it being bad, but actually it can be so helpful.
how comfortable were other actors when it comes to giving so many takes?
No, I think everyone understood this, and that way Shakun, he knows still where also he should push his actors. He, in the emotionally intense scenes, he wouldn't take more than 3-4 takes. And if he would get it, he would get it. I think it was just a point of seeing what else you could do, how far you could go. So yeah.
So, other thing I'm very curious to know is what was your dad reaction to the movie?
He loved it. He's seen it like 4-5 times already. And every time he sees it, I think he loves it a little bit more. And my mom had read the script, but my dad hadn't. So he was completely taken aback by all the twists and turns. So he's very happy.
So, Ananya, when are you most happy while making a movie? Like, which part of the movie making process you enjoy the most?
I think between action and cut, when actually, I think right after cut, right after you have had that honest moment and you kind of snap out of it and like, okay, wait, I wasn't myself in that moment. And I guess when the director's happy with the performance that you've given, because he's written the character, he's lived with it for so long. So to be able to do justice and to bring something of yourself to that is the best feeling for me.
So that means you love a movie set.
I love being on sets. Like even when we pack up, I just love sitting and watching the monitor when others are performing and observing. Like I watch it as an audience there.
Then what does one need that will make Ananya Panday to sign their movie? Because 4 films in 3 years, not a very good...
But that's because of COVID. That's because of the pandemic. Also, I mean, but honestly, I would not change the way that my journey has been so far. It's been very fulfilling already, and I can't wait for more. But yeah, I think COVID kind of caused that little bit of a delay for everyone, not just me.
So now let me bring a bit of the N word in the conversation. Most of the time, star kids are criticized of having it easy. But watching you perform in this movie, I would say that you have inherited the acting genes from your dad. Do you think so?
I hope so. I mean, he's a great, great actor. And, this whole thing about shying away from who my family is, I don't want to do that because I'm really proud of who my father is and the career that he's built for himself. And I feel like this nepotism debate, it's not going to end anytime soon. It's been going on forever. And by me saying something, it's not going to really change the conversation at all. And it's good to question things in life. I'm a person who questions everything. So it's, as long as it's a healthy debate and a conversation. But I know that I've wanted this my entire life and I want to work hard and I want to be honest and sincere to my work and prove myself.
So now, the other question, I think, which will break hearts of many people, but is Ananya Panday single?
I said I'll be true in my films. I didn't say I'll be true in real life and interviews.
Okay, so your friend and your co-star from Khali Pili, Ishaan Khatter, who keeps complimenting you on Instagram about your looks, what was his first reaction when he saw Gehraiyaan?
Oh wow, he was very taken in by the world. He was very involved in the world, and he's an actor himself. So he really loved all of the performances, and he spoke to all of us individually. But he's very kind and encouraging, and he always has been.
In November, you wrapped up the US schedule of Liger, your next big screen outing with Vijay Deverakonda. It's your bilingual movie that you shot in Hindi and in Telugu.
5 languages.
Okay, 5. So how easy was it for you to mouth lines in a language which you were not familiar with?
My character's from Mumbai in the film, so my character predominantly speaks in Hindi only in the film.
And how was it working with Vijay Deverakonda? He is this massive star.
He's a massive star, but he doesn't let anyone feel that way, because he's extremely down to earth and, he's very different from the personalities he's played on screen. So I find that very interesting.
And Ananya, after Gehraiyaan, so what type of roles are being offered to you right now? Is there a director now that you want to collaborate with?
I really want to work with Sanjay Leela Bhansali, sir, and I've always wanted to. Every time I watch Devdas, I always end up crying. I really want to work with Zoya. I want to work with Karan as a director because Rocky Aur Rani looks like so much fun, and his films are like comfort to me. I want to work with Neeraj Ghewan, sir. So I have a long list of directors, and this is just the beginning. So I'm hoping, to keep evolving and working with the people that I've admired.
And finally, the other very positive part of this Gehraiyaan success is that people genuinely have high expectations from you. You have raised the bar for yourself. I think now audience want to see Ananya Panday maybe shouldering a film. When do you think that will happen?
I hope so soon. I don't want to take it as a pressure. I kind of want to take it as a motivation. For me, it was very important to believe in myself after this film because I was very nervous before it. So I just continue to I hope I continue to be honest in front of the camera and be brave with the decisions that I make going forward.
It's okay to make some bad decisions. It's fine.
It's okay. Yeah. As long as you learn something from it.
Ananya Panday, thank you so much and best of luck. And please keep surprising us.
Thank you so much, sir. I hope I do.
Thank you.